staying with us here at 4:30. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein.
While health officials and government leaders continue to encourage the public to get their COVID-19 vaccine boosters, there's also a push to get your yearly flu shot, too.
Today we are joined by Dr. Ulysses Wu from Hartford Healthcare. Thanks for being here once again.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so tell us why it's important this year to not only get your COVID-19 vaccine or your booster, but also your flu shot.
Right. So there was the original respiratory virus before COVID, and that was flu. And flu does kill tens of thousands of people every year in the United States. And so last year we didn't have such a bad flu season, but that's because there were masking mandates that were in place. Now most of those masking mandates have been relaxed. And so it begs to, I guess it makes sense that we would start to see the return of a lot of these respiratory viruses, such as influenza. But there are other ones that are actually circulating right now. Rhinovirus, RSV, parainfluenza. We're all seeing these viruses return right now because of less masking. So please, yes, get your flu shot.
Dr. Wu, talking about timing here, there's a lot of people out there that still have not gotten their booster shot. If you want to go to get their booster and their flu vaccine, can they do both at the same time, or do they have to wait? What's your recommendation?
Yes, no, they can absolutely get them both at the same time. And yes, we are flu season. There are definitely flu cases popping up throughout the state. So we would encourage you to definitely get your flu shot. And then we know that booster demand is increasing as well. So we would tell you to get that. And if you can get it at the same time, that would be great.
Yeah, Dr. Wu, talking about that booster shot demand. I mean, I've been helping a family member trying to book one of those right now. And people are getting their boosters because there's no appointments. I mean, there are some, but it's like into next week and even the week afterwards. Some next week are totally booked. What's your advice to people who are trying to get the booster and are having trouble on Walgreens, CVS, or Walmart, any of those sites where they just feel like there's not appointments necessarily as readily available as before?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, and I would make the plea. You know, Hartford Healthcare, we certainly have capacity as well. So you don't need to just explore drugstores, but a lot of the health systems may also have it. So if we go back to the time before the vaccines, we have to remember, what did we do in that time before? So if you are at risk and you haven't gotten your booster shot, you should probably return back to a mode of social distancing and maybe masking, or I shouldn't say maybe masking, and masking at this point. And I do believe that a lot of this is a side effect of two things, right? Rising rates at this point, as well as Omicron as well, which is, I think, it's causing people to go out and get booster shots. But we have to remember that our primary vaccinators, people who have not gotten their first shot, that still remains low, or that still remains high in the sense that they haven't gotten it yet. So we would like people to get their first vaccinations as well.
Dr. Ulysses Wu from Hartford Healthcare, we appreciate your time. Thanks as always, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.